One of the responsibilities of being a good agent is understanding the trends of the real estate market. No one can accurately predict the future. There are too many factors involved, and there are too many variables. However, since we know that the market generally follows a pattern that repeats itself, we can make some educated guesses about the direction based on what's happened in the past. There are 4 phases in the real estate cycle: recovery, expansion, hypersupply, and recession. Each of these 4 phases has specific attributes. The recovery phase is when there is low demand, which is indicated by declining vacancies in properties and no new construction is happening. It's a lull where the demand is balanced with the available supply. The expansion phase is when activity resumes. While the vacancies are still down, implying a market for property, new construction is going on to meet the anticipated need. The hypersupply phase is when there is new construction but vacancies are increasing, indicating there might be an oversupply developing. The recession phase is when supply has reached a point where it tips the seesaw, with an excess of units available more than the demand requires. This results in increasing inventory. Let's look at how that might work in a typical residential neighborhood. In the recovery phase, activity is relatively quiet. The existing homes are nearly all occupied, with homeowners or renters not looking to move. New homes aren't being built, and there are few real estate signs in yards. As it moves into the expansion phase, you might notice some of the remaining empty lots have sold, and the contractors are showing up to grade the land and start framing. The skeletons of new houses appear, and the sounds of hammering, drilling, and loud music fill the air. Let the party begin. It's all going along well. Homes are selling, and people are busy. Then you notice a shift. In the hypersupply phase, sales slow as the previous demand is satisfied. However, houses are still being built. Since it takes about 2 years to complete new construction, there can be a lag from the time the buyers have reached the saturation point to when the new construction can wrap up and recognize that things have transitioned into the next phase. The next phase is the recession phase. Due to enthusiastic construction during expansion, continuing through to hypersupply, you now see a lot of real estate signs in the neighborhood, and not a lot of property changing hands. To further complicate things, the term real estate market does not mean the same to everyone. It can mean the local market, which could be a state, county, city, or even a neighborhood. The factors that influence the phases are unique to that particular area. You could have one neighborhood in hypersupply, while across town another area could be an expansion phase. It's not just location. It could be the type of real estate we're talking about. There could be a glut of homes with low demand, while office buildings could be scarce and contractors can't build them fast enough. And what about perception? In the above example, a homebuyer might think the market is great since there are so many available homes, while the sellers think it's terrible. Real estate is local, perception is important, and the market is cyclical. This knowledge helps you be a better agent and serve your clients well.